This entitled boss is about to become the biggest choosing beggar in the workplace. When this employee brings in some of their own gluten-free bread and gives some to their boss, he makes the most ridiculous demand. Happy birthday, if today's your birthday, on with the revamped show. In 2012, I was dating. I considered it dating. They considered it keeping it casual. Another human who had just decided to become a dog parent. I promise this is relevant. This person also decided that the response to their house being broken into was not to be any of better locks, reviewing their insurance arrangements, timers for their lights, speaking to their various neighbors that always had someone home. This person thought that their neighbor was unable to speak English, or any other solutions I could then dream up. About 12 months prior to this incident, I had bought my first investment property and had been fortunate enough to have a most amazing person apply to lease the property, honestly stating they intended to bring their 2 teenage children and 2 cats with them. I admittedly had hesitations, but decided to allow the teenagers to inhabit the property and was massively happy to ensure that 2 kittens had a proper home. At the time, Australian rental properties rarely allowed any pets, which resulted in everyone lying about pets when applying and bringing them anyway, and property owners and managers engaging in adversarial behaviour when pets were suspected, even though children are demonstrably far more destructive. Thankfully, the very same person is still living there with their family and has taken amazingly good care of the place. Getting back to the core of the story, the following conversation occurred. Choosing beggar. You own a house in decent suburb, right? Yes, are you looking to invest in property or buy in the area? No, my house was broken into and I want to move. How about you kick your tenant out, move from your inner city apartment, rent that out, and invite me to move in? I'm surprised that you want to take that step in our relationship so soon. Are you ready to move in together? We'd be in separate rooms. I'm just thinking that because your profession is so overpaid, you've got more assets, you'll do the right thing as a statement on our future, and have me there as a guest as things develop, whilst I focus on paying my mortgage down. Let me get this straight. We'd be housemates? How would this work exactly? I'd prefer not to move my cat as she's comfortable where she is. If I did that, your dogs would need to stay outside for a while until they were comfortable with each other. Can't you just give the cat to your parents or something? My dogs can't be outside, and you letting your cat sleep in your bed is gross. I'll need to think about this. It would impact me negatively financially, increase the amount of time that I spend traveling each day by a factor of 3, reduce the quality of my internet connectivity significantly, and I'd likely need to pay my tenant back for the improvements they've afforded the property, and my gaming options would be restrained with the change to connectivity and layout. My rig and gear need a sort of space that isn't available in that house. Can't you just give up gaming? That's just for kids, and is stupid, and you'll be okay without your cat. Of course, me thinking about this resulted in me realizing that this particular person had some thoughts that I took issue with. Things I consider important and have contributed to my career path are somehow embarrassing. My beloved cat melted the heart of everyone who had met her up until that point, with one exception. With that exception being this particular choosing beggar. By default, cat wins. Cat always wins. As a traditional Australian roast dinner, by which I mean typically English roast dinner, was on offer at my parents' place, I headed there and relayed this encounter with a view to obtain clarification. My mother decided to make the process quite simple. No deal. The natural response of an entitled person to somebody who's making more than them is always an expectation that their life should be subsidized. The thing they fail to realize is that if they're getting paid more, they're either working harder or longer, or their job is probably more specialized and they're adding more value to society. In a free society, you are free to work hard either on yourself or your work to excel for more success. Or, if you don't want to, you don't have to. Just don't expect others to bail you out if you don't. My boss is a huge choosing beggar. Drives me nuts, because it trickles into everything we do in the shop. Little things, big things, you name it. We have a small lunchroom that is kind of open concept near the offices. Water cooler, microwave, toaster oven. oven. I sometimes use the toaster oven for a quick snack, normally just toast and jam or something. We are a small crew, so I normally bring enough bread for everyone, just in case they're hungry too. There's just one catch. I'm celiac, so my bread is gluten-free. It's not a big deal. We have delicious gluten-free bread from a local place. You can't even tell. So there I am, making toast and cream cheese, and ChoosingBeggar boss comes out of his office.
That smells good. Man, I could go for some toast and peanut butter right now.
Wouldn't you know it, but I happened to bring peanut butter today with my cream cheese, because I didn't know which one I wanted. What luck. Sure boss, you want a couple pieces? I have peanut butter too. I thought this was an awesome situation. What are the odds someone would ask you for what I had without knowing I had peanut butter?
Okay, yeah, bring me 2 pieces to my office.
Okay, a little demanding, but maybe he was busy.
Hey, what kind of bread is that?
Oh no, I can feel it, the ChoosingBeggar coming out. I inwardly groan. My gluten-free bread from the bakery. ChoosingBeggar boss waves his hands dismissively at me.
No, I don't want that bread. Do you have any other kinds of bread instead of that cardboard crap?
Why would I buy regular bread that I'm allergic to? No, I only have this bread.
Well, I don't want that bread. No, it's fine. I won't have any then. Next time you bring bread, you should bring bread we can all enjoy.
I brought it for me. I'm just sharing. If you don't want it, that's fine.
Yeah, but now my office smells good, and now I can't have any, and that's frustrating.
I don't know what you want me to do about that.
Just be a little bit more considerate next time. Maybe bring something we can all enjoy.
ChoosingBeggar boss walks away, and my coworkers proceed to make communism jokes for the entire rest of our break about our bread and sharing it with everyone, and how the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. It was a good laugh. Of course, this means I'm going to be making toast every day for the remainder of this week, because I'm also petty. How dare I bring food for myself that is allergy friendly and share it with others? Clearly I'm the jerk here, no doubt about it. I should have considered that ChoosingBeggar boss would want regular bread and definitely gone to the store to buy a loaf just for him, because that's what he preferred. What was I thinking? Now it's rare for me to agree with the ChoosingBeggar, but I can say that I have never had good gluten-free bread. And as much as that is true, it certainly doesn't justify his entitled ways. Can you imagine having an allergy and then actually still being generous and sharing your special bread anyway, only to have somebody take advantage of that generosity and then expect you to bring in the bread that they want? This happened a while back, and I debated if it even qualified for this sub, because she never got rude about it, but the entitlement, laziness, and lies were definitely there. I decided to give away my son's old baby clothes rather than sell them, assuming I would avoid the typical hagglers and no-shows and other random BS one encounters when selling on Facebook. I posted in a local mums group that I had boxes sorted by age, first come first serve to those who wanted them. All the boxes were claimed and picked up within a day, except the one CB claimed. When I messaged her to arrange a pickup time, all I got was, "I'm not home or in town." Short and rude. Then crickets until a couple of days later when I followed up. First thing she asks me is if I am ever over by the area where she works and could meet her over the lunch break. No, sorry. My plans don't take me over there anytime soon. Then she tries to get me to bring them to some auto zone in my town. I have no idea where it is, because her uncle is the manager there and I can give them to him. No? I'm not delivering these things anywhere. At this point it's been a few days of back and forth, with her hinting at all of her hardships. She never once attempted to find a time when she can stop by. I tell her it's off-putting to be expected to cart things around town on my own time, as if I'm not busy too, and I point out everyone else has managed to pick their box up without a problem. Cue the sob story about being in the process of moving and just getting back to work after being on bed rest. This is important later. Then I get a message from another mum. We'll call her N, who'd also picked up one of the boxes of clothes. Turns out ChoosingBeggar knows her and messaged her asking if she can pick up ChoosingBeggar's box of clothes from me and bring them to her. N was flabbergasted as I was. N lives about 30 minutes east of me, and ChoosingBeggar 30 minutes west of me. ChoosingBeggar was asking poor pregnant N, who has other kids too, to drive a total of 2 hours round trip to pick up and deliver clothes to her. N obviously said no, and also shared a screenshot of our message ChoosingBeggar sent her, complaining about how I won't bring them to her, and says she is trying to prepare before she goes on bed rest.
So which is it? Did she just get off bed rest or is she about to go on it? And also pointed out the other inconsistencies in CB's stories, too many to go into here, and also shares with me that ChoosingBeggars has posted to Facebook trying to find someone to pick up the clothes for her before the deadline I had given her. I gave her a week. She was too lazy to take one evening in an entire week and come get the clothes. In all the time she spent trying to find someone to get them for her, she could have come to get them herself. At the end of the day, I gave N the clothes. ChoosingBeggars didn't find a delivery person, so she didn't get anything. Getting secondhand stuff from people on Facebook, Craigslist, Gumtree, sometimes there's a bit of a thrill to it. You might be getting a really good deal. Sometimes you have to deal with some pretty terrible people, whether you're trying to sell something, give it away, or you're the one trying to get a good deal. Sometimes it is worth the hassle because of how much you might save, and other times it's much preferable to just pay the extra to never have to deal with people like that. What's your preference when purchasing, either secondhand or trying to buy new? Let me know in the comments below. So I almost became a ChoosingBeggar today, and thankfully my husband managed to stop me before I insulted someone. The time has finally come where in all parents' lives, our daughter is going to get her first haircut. And since I have an amazing ability to F up in cutting a straight line, we both agreed it would be best to make the experience positive for her and take her to someone that knows what they're doing. The question was just, who? So after a quick chat with locals on Facebook, a lady who I will call Jane was recommended, and I immediately messaged her to hear if, when and how much it will cost. She happily tells me that she'd be happy to do it, and it will cost $180. I'll be honest, my mind froze as I thought, that much? I used to get my haircut for like $20 as a kid. I think for a second that maybe she thinks my little girl has a lot of hair. She just needs it trimmed, and asks if that affects the price, to which she says, it's not so much the work, it's the time set aside. It's most likely going to cost you $150. I almost wrote to her, that seems really expensive, when I remembered something important. For those who don't know, I live in Denmark, but grew up in California, two places with different currency. In my moment of brilliance, I was thinking only in dollars and not converting it. In reality, the haircut will cost us somewhere between $23 to $28. I almost undermined this professional hairstylist, her profession, because I forgot that the prices I grew up with are from another country. My husband laughed when I told him this, and said it sounded like a fair price. We've booked a time for Wednesday, and I've never been happier that I didn't answer her back right away. That's just generally a good life tip. If you're in conversation with someone or you're negotiating something, and something doesn't seem right, maybe it's overly way too expensive, the conditions seem really unreasonable, just pause for a second and think, maybe I haven't interpreted the situation how they think they've expressed it. Ask for a bit more clarification first, and then grill them about it. You might save yourself a lot of embarrassment. Submit your story to be read on the channel at VoiceyHereStories@gmail.com and join our Voicey veteran community at r/VoiceyHere. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode. Alright Voicey veterans, I'll see you in the next one.